All right, we're live. I am joined here today for my very first readings, friends, with Tori, Andrew, and Nico. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me.
Although I feel like I'm under an imposter. There we go. That's better.
There we go. Good. Actually, do you want to start with that? Why in the world are you guys cartoon characters?
I'll be right back.
Oh, no.
She doesn't want to answer the question.
There we go.
Nothing in the thumbnail is a book. I appreciate the misdirection. So the thumbnail is that way for a couple of reasons. One, I had a hard time making a good-looking thumbnail with, there's just too many people. It was cluttered. And so I just started, doing nonsense. And I had previously started assigning cartoon characters to everybody in this group, in our group chat. And we just ran with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You initially did it as a joke, then you got frustrated and did it for real.
Although I think your original choice for Andrew being Thomas the Tank Engine is still the best. So
no,
Thank you, Nico.
Character in Toy Story.
Okay, that should be known.
Oh, Thomas, that just gets me.
That should be known. So looking at the thumbnail, Andrew is Rex from Toy Story. Tori is Stitch, and I believe she's getting her Stitch shirt on right now.
Back.
Yeah, Stitch. And Nico is Arthur. So I assigned Nico as Arthur and Andrew as, what were you? You were at first you were Teletubby because I was just being mean. but then I switched you to Thomas, the train engine, and you said you wanted Rex.
Yeah, which I think Rex is awesome.
I mean, Rex, yeah.
Rex
it fits.
Awesome.
It works.
It does fit.
I'm just saying Thomas works too.
Yeah.
No, Andrew, you got to tuck your arms in like this.
Now someone's going to edit you on Rex next. Nico was gracious and he was like, whatever character you made me into, that's fine.
Arthur definitely fits though.
I will say I showed my wife and I didn't tell her who was who and she correctly guessed all of them. So
really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Layla knew which one was me. She had to have.
She immediately was like, yeah, this is definitely Andrew. And she's like, I'm assuming you're in Tori's. It's just like,
Tori, I didn't even get to assign you a cartoon. You just were like, I'm Stitch. So explain.
Which is a very Stitch-like thing. Yes. So I appreciate Stitch's struggle to fit into society, and also his general the scene where he rages through the little toy. It's like me writing, to be honest. Stitch is my spirit animal.
I love it.
So, yeah,
I love it. We have an 11/22/63 getting read today.
Nice.
What are y'all reading today?
One of my top 5 Stephen Kings.
It's one of my top Kings as well.
Didn't you read 4?
No, I've read 10. I've read 10 King books. I don't even like Stephen King, and I've read 10 King books.
Well, I do like Stephen King, and I've read around, I think I'm approaching 40.
I've read 0 King books.
I'm the only King fan on screen right now.
I'm
Nico,
pretty okay.
You're not a fan either?
No, his stuff is just, it's not for me. All the weird stuff. And I've not really read much of his stuff, but I had a friend growing up who was the biggest Stephen King fan. Read every one of his books, told me every detail about them, and I'm like, yeah, this sounds bad to me. I don't want to read this.
Yeah. I read Pet Sematary first and loved it off the charts. And then from then, I've been seeking another great King book. And I keep finding ones that are almost good and then being disappointed. And his fans keep telling me, you just haven't read enough of his books. Just try another.
Green Mile?
I have not read Green Mile.
Green Mile is the most non-King book that King ever wrote.
Okay, well, that's not cool, I guess. But I just don't think I'm a King fan.
It's my favorite. It's his best storytelling to date.
More than Pet Sematary? I don't know. I feel like that can't be topped at this point.
Listen, my top 2 are Green Mile and Needful Things.
Needful Things. That's another one that gets recommended a lot.
Love it.
There was a question that I think you should answer, Murphy, and that is, you never said what cartoon character you would be if you had put
Moana.
That checks out.
The sea calls to me.
That's right.
It's like the chorus piece of who I am.
It calls to you all the way from Kentucky.
Listen,
All
I
the way
have
in
told
Kentucky.
I have told my husband at least once a week that we are moving coastal someday. It will happen. What are y'all reading?
I am reading these two books.
Although
At the same
on
time, you're going to read them both during the sprints?
2 books.
Probably. I'll probably switch off.
Ooh, who's reading Stars My Destination? What a interesting read that is. That's a weird one. I also grabbed this off the shelf just in case for Tori. So
Nice. I have
What
that
was it?
edition. I hate reading from those editions, but I love holding them up.
I haven't tried yet, but that's I think why I have a bunch of them and I haven't read any yet because they're kind of weird.
Yeah, they're
your paper
formatted
mill
oddly.
But he bought like a ton of Paper Mill Classics off of Book Outlet.
Mm-hmm.
They just look
Because
cool.
they're beautiful. Yeah,
like
they're beautiful.
$5-6, and you get tons of them. And they're brand new. There's just a lot of them printed. So
This is the only copy of Frankenstein I have.
That's a nice copy.
That's acceptable.
Wall of Storms.
This is
Shut up, Nico. I don't even want to hear from you right now. Get out of here with your meh on one of the best books I've ever read.
I always say that series. I read the first 2. They're the best books I've ever read, but not liked. It's just not for me. They're very good, and I understand why people love them. They're just not for me.
I'm going to go for about 2 hours probably, but y'all can come in and out however you please. Tori, what are you reading?
I am doing a reread of Golden Sun by Pierce Brown currently. That's my
Nice.
first read for February.
I thought about rebuying that trilogy recently.
I can't anymore because mine are signed now.
No.
So now you're incapable of purchasing them again?
Mhm.
Checks out.
You could buy more signed copies. You can never have enough signed copies.
It's true. I have several copies of Red Rising actually.
I wish Alan were here to scream at you in all caps. I have 2 books that I'm trying to decide between. Into the Sunken City, which is like Treasure Planet.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Go into the Sunken City to find your treasure. And then Chess Story, which I think is going to make me cry. I'm leaning towards this one for a public reading time.
Come on, Murphy.
But we'll see. Monty says The Bloodstones by Tori Tekken is awesome so far. Not done with it yet. Wait till you get to the ending. It'll change everything. You'll hate it.
1 star.
1 star. Minus 4
no,
stars.
we agreed yesterday, -4.
-4.
That's right. Yes.
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
really
I love
glad
that
you're
book.
enjoying it, Monty. Thank you.
Oh, never been to such events. Going to read Brothers. I don't know that the Brothers Karamazov. I don't know this one.
Dostoevsky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of those
I
Russian
don't know
dudes or
either.
something like that.
I
own
is
it.
good. I Own It is not a brag for a book lover. Have you read it?
What is that, Nico? Why?
That's what I've been doing for the last
Him just
5
like
minutes.
cracking up in the background as he holds that up.
This is what I was doing if you saw me crack.
You know, send that to me. I'll make it my new Discord profile.
I did send it to you.
Andrew the train engine. I love it.
Oh,
John's
man.
starting his 2nd read of Tori's book.
Ooh.
Tori's popular today.
After
Tori's
talking and
always
finding even
popular.
more about it, I'm really, really excited to read it now. So
I think you'll like it, Nico.
it's gonna get
It's-
bumpy.
I'm excited for the audio. Which
Well,
is-
yeah. I like
Who's doing the
already
audio, Tori?
excited. Andrew D. Meredith narrating. I'm like, yes. Now I'm gonna have to hybrid it.
So good.
Nice.
He did a-
Do you have a female narrator for your female perspective?
Nope, it's all Andy.
Wow.
I know.
His voices are really, really.
He did a really good job. Yeah,
I've
we had
never
a
actually
lot of-
heard him narrate.
we had a lot of back and forth on some of the characters and the female characters, especially about how we wanted to. So I was very involved in the process of the audiobook. So,
Nice.
yeah, did a great job.
Oh, the X Hex. Keep us updated on that one. I've been told that I would enjoy that, and I'm suspicious.
I haven't even heard of it.
It's a romance book. It's a Halloweeny romance.
So you
So
haven't
someone
heard of
told me that I would like it. Can you imagine? But it's someone who knows my taste well, so we'll see. Y'all want to get started into our first sprint?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I was informed. This is my first sprint. This is my first time running a sprint. Everybody have mercy on me. I was informed that a lot of people have timers on the screen when they sprint, and I was very unprepared for that. But what I did do is I had an art piece made for, and I had like fire, crackling fire. So we're gonna do that. And I'll just put in the chat when the sprints end and put it on screen, and that'll just be what happens. So, sorry.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
All right, we are going into our first sprint, and we can go for 30 minutes, so 15 minutes past the hour.
Sounds good.
All right.
Hello. You're allowed to talk now.
I don't want.
Just kidding. How was your read?
I read a chapter of both books.
Why?
I read a bunch of chapters because they're very short in this book.
How are you liking Ascendant?
It's pretty good. I tried to really be strategic because I didn't want to read another Dragon Rider really shortly after Temeraire. And since I know this is supposed to be a little bit on the younger side too, I read like a really grim, dark book right before this, so that this would feel very refreshing, which I think is what it's so far. But it's got a lot of the stuff you'd expect, but it's got some interesting and unique things and doing some cool world building. So it's a good.
What's it called?
Ascendant by Michael R. Miller.
Oh, I DNF'd that. But you are liking it?
It's pretty good so far.
Okay.
You know, that's my shtick. So I'm gonna need you to get your own.
Andrew, we both DNF things constantly.
I'm trying to get better about DNFing things, but this is one that I feel like if I was not in the mood for this kind of read, I would have probably not, been enjoying it. But it's why I specifically waited and made sure I was in a good spot to read this sort of book. So.
Yeah, that's smart. Sucks.
I wrote a couple paragraphs in the sequel to Bloodstones, and I got about 2 chapters in Golden Sun.
That sounds productive.
You said you were writing during the sprint?
Mhm.
Oh, wow. You just do whatever you want. I call it a reading sprint. Tori's like, I'm an author.
I'm a rule breaker. What can I say?
That you are. That is so you. You're like, give me the parameters so I know what to break.
She's doing productivity sprints.
Yeah.
I made a YouTube thumbnail.
Good job.
Corey's in the chat, apparently.
How are you here and also in the chat, Murphy? That's
I'm not. He's on my manga account. He was folding laundry. I went out there to grab a couple other books, and he was folding laundry, so he's not lying. Andrew, what did you say you were reading? You said you did a chapter of both, but what were you reading?
The Spider Key. This is book 2 in the amazing Riverfall Chronicles.
Is the first book the Wigwire Watch or whatever?
Wigwire Watch.
I'm gonna read that in March.
so good.
So good. If it doesn't win SPFBO, I riot. And then,
Kind of same.
That's what Andrew said too. He was like, not Andrew, sorry, Alan. Super good with names. That's what Alan said too. He was like, it needs to win.
I mean, Alan and I are like incredibly similar, and we're also very dissimilar, but we're similar as well. So the mistake is understandable.
I definitely need to read both of those as well. So
his channel's twice as big as mine, so whatever.
Bone Ships is a book I need to reread because I read it and I didn't love it, but I feel like
Bone Boats.
It seems like one I should like. I also would like it to be known that my artist, so again, the artwork that we had on screen, I had my artist make for this stream, but my artist actually just sent me the final copy and I didn't have the final version on screen. Whoops. So let me show you the final version because it's so pretty. Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, it's the same. The lighting's just nicer, but
yeah, it's a little brighter.
I like it.
I decided to go with the Treasure Planet one, Into the Sunken City. And it's cool. I don't know why I didn't think about this, but it's a diving book. So you're going to have a big focus on the mechanics of diving.
Ooh.
I love diving books. So these are 2 that I've read relatively recently, specifically following divers. This one's a shipwreck diver. This one's a cave diver. So I know, I've learned so much about diving.
What was that first one? The Shipwreck Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
I needed some more books on my TBR, so.
Oh, it's got a blurb from Clive Cussler. Okay, that makes sense.
Y'all are looking at the wrong stuff. Anyway.
I read so much Clive Cussler as a teenager. Of course I was going to pay attention to that.
Of course you were. I should have known. What am I talking about?
With Clive Cussler in high school.
So anyway, this is about diving. They are apparently in a city. Their goal is to be able to see the sun. So they're in a sunken city. and they go diving into the more dangerous, deeper dives to try to, or at least she does because she's super talented, goes diving to try to find treasures to help pay because they're very impoverished. And so she's trying to find money to pay for her and her sister. I guess when the city sank, I'm still at the very beginning, but it seems like it killed a lot of people. So it's her and her sister on her own. There's a lot of orphans. There's a lot of just like, we're just trying to survive at this moment. But also in the 26 pages I read, there was a whole lot of teen angst. So I think that might be a big focus too. There's a lot of, he saved me. We broke up because he's joining the guard, but I love him. Kiss me one more time. So it was like, it was not quite the diving story that I thought just yet.
I'm not going to put that on my TBR.
I was say I added it to my TBR and I'm now taking it off of my TBR within.
I was warned that the beginning is quite romancy, so it might lighten up.
This one was.
Ethan wants to know what it was like reading in front of the camera for the first time.
Who? Nico wants to know what?
No, Anitha.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, she's my agent. She's my agent of chaos.
Yeah, it took me way too long to make my brain latch onto the words, because in my mind I'm like, this is weird, right? Like I'm like reading on camera. This is weird, right? But eventually my brain latched and I was able to move on.
One of my favorite reading sprint comments is, "What are you doing?"
But people come in and
every
like,
time you're like, what is happening? What's the reading sprint?
Okay, I was wondering if this is just because it's the first time I've ever done a sprint that there were so many of those comments, or if that's just normal during sprinting times.
Always happens.
Gotcha.
I mean, you'll get less of those if you do more of them as your audience gets used to what it is. But yeah,
I mean, it's Murphy. Murphy's gonna make reading sprints cool.
Yeah, and then we can be the ones that are hipster and be like, we were doing it before it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the first time I did one and somebody asked if I wanted to do it. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I didn't understand it at all.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just trolling because we literally just talked about it. But
Bilbo's in my Discord. That's definitely trolling.
Gotcha.
Oh, and here's another one. I think I just assume since everybody's done this for so long now, I feel like I'm the last one to do it. So I was like, everybody knows what this is.
I mean, yeah, okay.
I used to do sprint.
There's been a
quite often on my channel. I don't anymore. I need
There's
to.
so much talking happening all at the same time. I hear nothing.
That's me.
That was my bad. I didn't realize he started that's where I stopped.
That's okay. I prefer Nico. You go.
I was saying there's no undulating in here so far, but I did have to really, really try hard to ignore because somebody did release a breath they didn't know they were holding, and I'm just. But I'm just like, I'm moving on. I'm moving past. I'm trying to let it.
I love that there are just a few key phrases that the whole community is like, aha, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Tori, have you ever written release a breath? Didn't know they were holding?
I don't think so. I may remember, but no, I intentionally avoid it because I feel like there's a lot of more interesting ways to promote. But that's just my.
Murphy, did you not like the bone boats because it was full of undulating?
Listen. No.
I remember RJ Barker does use that word.
Every nautical book, it is my personal curse that I love nautical fictions and nonfiction so much, but also hate that word so much. Like it doesn't work. It doesn't fit.
Would you like me to say something to him? I'm supposed to be interviewing him in the next couple months.
Yes, please do. Please curse the name. Curse the day that he was born.
I don't want to do that.
That escalated quickly.
I mean, Murphy's always the all or nothing. She just goes scorched earth.
I feel like that's a whole group, though. We all do that.
Yeah.
Nico's our only neutral in this group.
True neutral everything.
Okay.
Not on Rising. He's not.
Yeah, Nico definitely has some strong opinions. He just isn't as chaos. He's not seeking. You know how some people are sensory seeking? We're chaos seeking.
Well, it's usually pointed the wrong way. It's usually Andrew who he loves to bring up things he knows that are going to get me in trouble with the chat. All my controversial
Ever.
and hot takes. So that's where I was on something with Andrew, and Mike showed up, and then Mike just assumes I hate everything because we only talked about things I don't like the whole time, and I'm like, why? And I'm like, I love so many things. Come on.
I feel like it's easier to talk about things you don't like sometimes, though. So it's just like where things go. Sorry, Andrew, you've been trying to talk for like 10 minutes, so I'm going to talk over you again. Hey,
Good,
guys,
good.
I didn't know. I feel like I'm not great
appreciate
talk, so I listen to Color of Magic. I hope you feel better, Jenna. Go ahead, Andrew.
No, I said if you really want to see Nico in his purest form of chaos, I can send you a video of him eating soup.
What?
What? It was
You eat it with a
actually
fork?
it was melted ice cream actually, but
You didn't help. What?
it's a random video that my wife took and sent to Andrew like a year ago that he still has for some reason, and that he recently sent back to us. It was really random.
Send it to him every 3 months.
You hate Tom Bombadil?
Oh gosh, Tom Bombadil is the worst. Why are you calling me out, Patrick?
He was a Mary. I wasn't expecting that. Tom Bombadil was a
Do you like
Mary.
Tom Bombadil, Nico?
Hello in his face.
Seems like you do.
Not really.
Tori, do you like Tom Bombadil?
Tom Bombadil. He's great.
All right. I could tell it was a lie, but I liked it anyway.
No, I'm not a fan of Tom.
Ah! Why did I invite so many heathens into my stream?
I appreciated
Didn't
Tom Bombadil a little
Okay.
bit more on my reread.
us long
because-
enough, Murphy, that I feel like you should know at this point that we're all chaotic heathens.
That doesn't give you a right to hate Bombadil.
I
So,
don't.
Nico,
I
what
don't
were you
hate-
saying?
I don't hate Tom Bombadil. I just my least favorite part of Lord of the Rings is the songs, and I did the audio to do a reread of The Hobbit and of Fellowship, and I appreciated Tom Bombadil a little bit more because I like the mystique around him just being the super old creature that's like been there since the dawn of time, but I just want him to shut up whenever he's singing. The same as pretty much everyone.
Stop! No!
I don't like
In
the
the
songs.
audio, the songs are even better. Why would you
It-
say a thing such as?
I'm glad that I didn't have to read them, but it's like at the same time I'm just like sometimes the songs go way too long. It's my least favorite part of the series, so I'm sorry.
Anita,
That's
do you
not
want to
my-
be in the next reading sprint?
That's
Go
not my
ahead,
issue with.
Evans.
I actually like the songs.
Yeah.
It's just that tonally they don't fit in the sections and where they're currently at.
Listen to
Exactly,
that.
right there, Patrick.
I love Bombadil so much. My
So
favorite.
I mean, my husband is a big Dom.
Well, why isn't he on the sprints?
I can leave and have him come in if you
That'd
want.
be great. Yeah.
Andrew
In fact,
would.
could all of you send your spouses in, they would probably be better.
My wife doesn't read.
Great. I'll convince her that Bombadil is good.
I'll yell and see if she wants to switch places. I don't know.
You're all invited to stay, but you can bring your spouses in if you want to. What if we give him the ring and they're like, he'll probably lose it or something.
Honestly, I prefer The Hobbit. I think The Hobbit's perfect.
Okay. It's fine.
The Hobbit is pretty great.
My hot take is that I didn't really like The Hobbit.
Gas.
I mean, I originally read Hobbit and Lord of the Rings when I was a teenager, and I appreciated it, but I found it boring. Reading it, much later, I found it less boring, and I still appreciated it, but like I'm like not a huge fan of the songs, because I always read them in the books too. So at least like Andy Serkis like singing his heart out did make it a little bit better. Very impressed with him, but I'm just like I enjoyed it a lot. I really appreciated, I feel like, more stuff. So
My hot take is that I have not read either Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit yet.
Tori.
I know. Turn in my fantasy fan card right now. I know.
Tori.
I mean, You probably should at some point. It's
I
just one of
will.
those things.
I was
I mean, it's not the end of the world. I think
if it were Murphy. I
Murphy hates all of us now.
read rings yet. Appreciate it a lot as a reader in terms of making.
Are any of you understanding Tori right now?
Nope, straight static.
Good. Okay.
She'll
We
come
could have
back
talked about
eventually.
anything in this stream. I just want it to be known we could have talked about anything in this stream. This was Patrick's fault. This was Patrick's fault.
Yeah, Patrick came in and
This is
chose
true.
violence.
Patrick! I could have lived in ignorance. I could have thought that my friends were worth friending. In the last hour, my friends have told me that they've been stalking me, and now they're telling me that they don't like Tom Bombadil.
To be fair, your friends informed you of how to avoid being stalked.
You're so right. Thanks for that. I guess I'll forgive you because I am pretty grateful for that. Anitha, she's like, sorry, what? The films are very good.
Jeez.
They are very good.
Patrick just came in here and chose violence.
What's Sun Eater? I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Sun Eater is? Have you not been watching Daniel's channel for like 2
Oh,
months?
that's Empire of Silence then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's Sun Eater.
Yeah. He has sent me many texts. Oh, you got it from the library. So this is going to be no.
No, I bought an X Library edition because the book is ridiculously expensive, and I got X Library editions in great condition for like 15 bucks.
Okay, well, do you guys like it?
I love it.
Haven't read it yet.
These two are mind-blowingly good, and I'm reading books 4 and 5 in the next 2 months.
Was 3 not mind-blowingly good?
1 is really good, but it's not mind-blowing. My cat is angry.
Nico, have you read it?
Sun Eater, I have not yet. I do plan to, but I have not yet.
I have it on my TBR. Daniel has sent me many a text telling me that I need to read it. It just doesn't. I just don't think I'd like. I'm going to read it. I just don't think I'll like it.
From what I've heard, a lot of people really like his prose and writing style, and so
They're dusty.
Tori, I like how scandalized you were at that.
I can't believe how dusty those books, Andrew.
Did you see like the?
Yeah, I did.
Oh gosh, I mean, I don't know anybody who hates these books, but you can always be the first.
I love to be the hater in the room of people having a good time. I love to just walk into the room and be like, let me ruin your day. It's super fun. Well, there have been a few books like that recently. Everybody and their mother was loving Amina Al-Sarathi.
I didn't like it.
Did you not? Why didn't you come knocking down my door, since apparently you know where I live, and be like, hey?
You know what? I'll show up and we'll do like an in-person live stream. I'll just
Yeah,
show up
that'd be great.
completely unannounced. You'll be like, what are you doing
So
here?
bad. When I read it, I was like, I don't want to tell people. Like, everybody's having such a good time. I don't want to show up and be like, well,
I didn't
here's
like
all
the
the
mechanic
reasons.
in the very beginning when she's like talking to you about being a biographer, and then she like turns around and like yells at somebody behind her, and it's like written on like that's a weird sort of delivery mechanic that I did not like at all.
I just felt like I was reading the wrong time in her story, you know? Like, all the interesting stuff seems to have happened before the pages started. And then we get to it, and then she's like, let me tell you how cool I am. But we didn't really actually do that much that was cool, you know? So I don't know. That's not what this stream is supposed to be either. Nico, what's a book that you hated that everybody else loves?
Yeah, how long do you have?
Don't talk about Wall of Storms.
No, I didn't hate those books. I liked them. I mean, the Poppy War is the big one. Absolutely hate it.
The
More
Poppy
recently,
War wasn't worth the paper it was written on.
well, more recently, Renya, by Carl Forshaw. I hated that book, and people love it, and I don't know, I
Somebody
didn't get
that
it.
March.
I don't think I've read
People
that
love
one.
it. It's been pretty big. I'm trying to think. Like Broken Earth, I didn't like.
You didn't even like book 1? Not even book 1?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
no.
Should I kick myself out of the stream?
No, so
Yeah,
far you're doing
I was
fine.
saying.
Oh
Besides,
no, because I agree with him.
on yeah, that was.
I love it.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, because I those are
And
definitely
Ethan's
tough
answering
ones.
for you.
Yeah, that is correct.
Although I gave it 3
That is
stars.
correct.
I DNF'd that one.
I DNF'd
Oh,
it twice.
why? We need to talk about books more. What do we talk about in our group chat?
We just talked about.
Do you really want us to answer that?
No, I don't.
Um,
Tori,
oh.
what's a popular book that you didn't like?
Oh man, I don't know. Andrew, what do I not like that everybody likes?
Oh God.
Sorry.
Why would you put me on the spot like this?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Next season.
Okay. I'm not a fan of First Law.
Oh yeah, First Law.
Wait, for real? I thought you were an
Like-
Abercrombie fan.
No.
Oh, I'm not an Abercrombie fan either.
For me, it was mostly book 3. In fairness, yeah, I hated book 3.
But I hated book 3.
I wanted to throw it across the room.
I watch all of your channels. I feel like I should know these things about you.
I mean, I mostly talk about good things. I've mentioned these. I did. Oh, my first law reviews though. Those were from when I didn't even do video yet. And so very few people have seen those for the most part.
I do feel betrayed. I feel genuinely like this has been rough for me. We need to go back into a reading
Friendship
trend.
over.
For real. Is this the second live of the day? Yes. Murphy is having a busy Saturday. Nice meeting Tori, Nico, and Andrew. We'll be following you now. Have an awesome Saturday. Thank you,
appreciate it.
Jonathan. The description has all of them linked. Thoughts on Gentlemen Bastards? What a great question, Bucky. Thank you.
2 thumbs up. Andrew,
thumbs
shut up.
up.
2 thumbs up.
Love it.
Andrew has
shut up.
DNF'd Liza Locke-Lamore like 4 times.
To be fair, it's not because I thought it was bad. I just lost interest.
No, you didn't. It's hilarious. You didn't lose interest.
Andrew doesn't like. I think it was the flashbacks where he struggles with a lot of flashbacks sometimes.
I like the flashbacks. I don't like the current timeline. I find it boring.
That's what it was. But yeah, okay. So the dual timelines.
See, I loved watching him get in so much trouble and constantly getting pulled aside and be like, "Hey, you're ruining it for everybody."
Yeah, because he's so theatric. He can't just be a straightforward thief. He has to make a show of it, and then it screws everything up.
I know. I love
That's
that.
awesome. Thank you, Nico.
I do. I need to. I haven't reread those books in a while, but I love them. But I mean, the good news is I got Andrew's nice copies because he sent them to me because he didn't want them anymore. They're around here somewhere. But
Did you guys see that Lynch has some big book news coming up soon?
I know he did the novellas.
So he got some new author photos taken. And then he announced a new special edition cover for The Lies of Locke Lamora. And then someone commented on that and said, "Hey, not to be that fan, but how's book 4 going?" And he replied, "We have some cool announcements coming. I didn't get new author photos for nothing."
oh, nice.
I'm so excited.
I'll definitely.
I'm very
reread.
excited for all of you.
Murphy, we are buddy reading that, please.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes.
Nico, you are
Oh.
too.
Lex, why are you trying to get me in
I
trouble?
prefer this.
I own that book. I haven't read it. Can I start with that one? I have it, and I almost started it several times, but Goodreads says that it's not the first book in the series, and I just get confused.
This is a 3-book omnibus of the first 3 books.
Oh,
So it is the first book. It's the first 3.
how confusing. Okay.
Yeah, just-
I think I still have it. I think I didn't get rid of it. I might have gotten
Murphy,
rid of it.
don't look at the
'cause I had no
chat.
idea, I couldn't figure it out.
It's so good.
Oh, that's another book I hated.
said
brought up in
don't.
the chat.
Don't look at the chat.
What book?
Addie LaRue. Hated.
Oh, I haven't read that one. I'm actually not a V.E. Schwab fan, super duper. I loved her middle grade, but I've been really hit or miss with stuff.
That Savage Song.
No, I didn't actually read those. The
That one I
ghost
liked
one?
at first.
The ghost one.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't read that one.
Ghost City. I don't remember. I loved Vicious, didn't like the sequel. I wasn't into A Darker Shade of Magic. I loved the ghosty one. I can't remember what it's called now, but I read that one and the sequel for that, and I loved them both so much. So I just stopped picking up her books because she was so hit or miss for me.
I didn't like Darker Shades of Magic at all.
You want a hot take? The author I'm super hit or miss with is Adrian Tchaikovsky.
Oh yeah. Have you liked it, or have you only disliked?
I've only liked 3 of his books so far.
Oh, is that all?
Of his 25?
Have you read 25?
I've read around 12. And I like 3 of them.
That's fair.
All right. This sounds like Stephen King. This sounds like my version of Stephen King. So I think you just need to eventually be like, all right, you know what? Not the one. Although you should read and put away Childish Things with me this month.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. It's really short. Anita, when you do reading sprints with me, you can read The Lies of Locke Lamora.
So good.
I like how I just
It is.
am now.
Marcy, that was
deciding
literally
I should read them.
how you and I started talking. Was I reached out to you and was like, "Hey, we should talk about Lies of Locke Lamora because we
Really?
yeah, that was
I
our
thought
first discussion
I thought we started talking because you invited me onto your channel for a live stream.
to talk about Lies of Locke Lamora.
Did we even talk about it in that stream?
Yeah, we did.
Did we? That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
And then
I have a
that's
very bad memory.
where Nico and I kind of jumped in. And then,
Did you insert yourself into Tori and I's friendship? Were you not invited?
Well, I mean, I'm always invited.
I was gonna say.
No, that's not true. I met you both on the Lord of the Rings stream.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
but
You
we-
compared
we-
it.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
had initially started talking to you in that live stream in the chat. And you just said,
Oh.
hit us up. And
Oh, did I?
so,
That's
yeah.
great. I don't remember anything, y'all.
It's fine.
To be clear to the chat, the 4 of us have a group chat that we talk on frequently, so we're all good friends now. I just don't remember all of our origin stories. City of Last Chances I thought was fantastic.
I mean, my origin stories with Nico is I started being mean to him in the comments. And then he was just like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, my channel was garbage at the time. To be fair, I literally recorded audio. I didn't do video for a while, and then I realized you're supposed to do video because there was a whole community of channels, and so I started, and it was very bad, and it slowly got better. But
I think that's the
Andrew-
story for all of us.
he was in my first 25 or so, but I made content for 6 to 7 months and had about 25 subscribers, multiple videos a week, all audio only. Nobody watched them for the most part until Slowly Read randomly found one and shouted me out, and I went to 25 to 50 overnight, and I'm like, I should
Nice.
actually try to be better, I guess. So
He shouted out your Mark Lawrence Prince of Nothing, I believe.
How do you
Those
just know stuff,
are-
Andrew?
that's not the author that wrote that book.
Or no,
series,
not Prince
but-
of Nothing. Prince of
Never
Thorns.
It
mind.
might have
you
been
know
Prince
stuff.
of Thorns. I think it was Thomas Covenant, actually. It might have
Was it
been.
Thomas Covenant?
It might have, I don't even remember. But
If you
Who
don't
would
remember,
win?
why are you
What's-
correcting me?
Can
what
I?
are the rules of the fantasy match?
Okay, that's a great question. I just assumed it was Hunger Games style. We're just all
What
going for it.
context?
Here's what
Oh.
Hunger Games. Here's the story that I've made up in my head while I was pretending to listen to you guys. So Nico and I are gonna team up just for a minute, and we're gonna try to strategize how to hide and try to maybe snipe, while Tori and Andrew are just gonna go full on psycho mode. Okay, what can I use as a weapon? I'm going into killing mode right now. And then when you two kill each other somehow, Nico and I will turn on each other. I'll probably lose. Nico will probably win. Anybody want to weigh in on that?
I like the hiding because if it involves cardio, I'm losing. So if I can just kind of hide and then jump in right at the last second, I might have a chance. So
Listen, I'm not very good at hiding because genetically my daughter will go and play hide and seek and then scream out where she's hiding. You can't find her, so then you have to pretend like you didn't hear her say, "Daddy, I'm right here." And so genetically, probably not predisposed to hiding very well.
Andrew, that's such a terrible rationale. My daughter, who is a tiny human, is bad at hiding, so I probably am too.
I feel like I could see Andrew also yelling, "I'm right here! Why haven't you found me yet?" I could see that.
You know what, Nico? When I come to town next month, we're gonna play hide and seek, and we're gonna see what happens.
Tori, how do you envision this?
I am not a defense player in anything. Like I'm such a tank when it comes to video gaming and stuff, and that's just my personality. But I also love the social game of things. Like I actually wanted to try out for Survivor when I was in college, just to try it.
No,
I don't
you should have
know.
done The Bachelor, just as good.
Ugh, no. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would either die very quickly or I would win. Those are like my two options.
I feel confident that I would either hide or die quickly.
See, if it was like a challenge of who has the most big books to be used as blunt objects, I'm definitely winning that one. But that's why I was sure.
Nico, I think I would beat you.
Yeah?
I've got at least 300 more books than you.
Yeah, but do you have as many chunky hardcovers?
I mean, I've got probably, yeah.
Because I mean, like, Ships of Marrier could knock a person out.
I've got Ships of Marrier.
Please vlog your hide and seek game, please.
Next time you two visit each other, have a game of hide and seek and record it for us all.
We're gonna have Layla record it.
I'm gonna picture. I have Andrew like hiding behind a cushion, going, "I'm right here,"
walking around trying to find us.
I'm still scared because Andrew's going to be sleeping in this room, and I think like every day books are going to be gone, and I'm just going to I'm going to have to check his luggage when he leaves.
It's probably true. That would be pretty funny if you're just like, all right,
I'm gonna like cartel it and like just wrap them in plastic and duct tape and stick it to the bottom of my car. Wait till I leave your street and then retrieve it.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are wild.
I was gonna say, if people haven't figured this out already, our group chat is pure chaos all the time.
Oh, that's all it is. We even try to have normal conversations sometimes and it spirals every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like even for this I sent and Tori, your memory is as bad as mine. I sent the link for these sprints yesterday, and then it got so deeply buried just in us being idiots, like just nonsense. And then Tori's like, "Was this link ever posted?"
I was the smart one. I grabbed the link immediately and posted it into Discord
smart.
between Nico and I, so we wouldn't lose it.
Oh, but not Tori.
So you
I
only sent it. I see how it is.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sorry, Tori.
I have the memory of a goldfish.
Tori asked, I just grabbed and threw it into her chat too.
If you were to pick a losery book for all of the losers, one book to pass to the three of us, whoever wants to answer the question, to intentionally to harm us, what book would you think would be the right one?
Poppy War.
Oh, that's probably a good answer.
Wow. Fifth Head of Cerberus by Gene Wolfe.
I don't know that one.
But I'm actually curious on that one.
I know. Out of the four of us, you're probably the only person that would like it.
I'd be so mad just yelling in Voxer the whole time.
See, I've been yelling at Andrew to read a book for so long that I think he'll actually like. So that was my first thought there, because I keep trying to get him to read this book, Lord of a Shattered Land.
What book is that? I can't quite make it out.
Yeah,
we're getting some really good answers, guys. Kissing the Coronavirus.
Oh God,
Kafka on the Shore. ACOTAR.
Already read it.
You know what? I would read ACOTAR just for the
I would pay to watch a vlog of you reading ACOTAR. It would be hilarious.
Would you?
Oh,
he's like, okay, if we're getting paid.
Just stick it behind my Patreon paywall.
Yeah, I'm already on your Patreon. It's fine.
Fair enough.
Oh, I think the worst thing I've ever read in my life. I was trying to think. It was written many years ago, and it's still available because somebody sent it to me, and I've had it on my Kindle for years. It's called The Annoyomancer, and it is a quote-unquote parody of Mistborn. The author is listed as like Sarandon Branderson, and it is the worst thing I have ever tried to read in my entire
But it's intentionally bad, though.
Oh, you know what?
I guess, but I could not read it. I think it is at least somewhat supposed to be, because it's meant to be really dumb, I think. But it was so bad.
I should have said in honor of Jake, the bookish drummer. I should have said Floppy Shoes Apocalypse.
Mhm.
I'm assuming if he likes it, I won't.
Oh no, it's something that one of our moderators sent to Jake as a joke, because I'm pretty sure it's like a clown horror romance.
That one.
Have you guys read the oh shucks, I think it's the never mind. I know you haven't. What am I talking about? I'm gonna say Kafka on the Shore. That's gonna be my choice. Sorry.
Well, now I have to know what you were talking about.
It's like a Sonic fan fiction that's like just really poorly written. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, cool.
Oh boy.
Cool. Yeah. No, thanks. Nope. No.
You're not into Sonic the Hedgehog craziness?
I mean, I like Sonic, but no.
Santa.
If you're talking about furry sort of stuff, I'm not interested.
He steals Mario's girl, Princess Peach. So funny.
Oh, that's
It's like riddled with typos. Don't worry about it. Anyway, sorry, Nico. What?
I did have to try to read a furry book for SPSFC, which was a really quick nope. But
I remember the cover of that one. We were on the same team.
George R. Washington.
I thought this was a typo, but then I realized this must be some other like really bad parody thing.
Yeah, Game of Groans. Unless they're just like saying it was so bad that it's not even worth saying correctly.
I'm guessing it's probably there's got to be some weird parodies, but
on the flip side, what's a great book that you would recommend people read?
Liza Lacamora.
That's not Liza Lacamora.
I mean, more people should check this out. It is excellent.
Nico, did you secretly write that?
No. He's been on the author's been on my channel, so I've not
hired an actor to pretend to be that author.
I even said I said last night with Tori, I'm like, if I'm reading a book and I'm like, this feels like something I would have written, that is not a compliment. That is not a good thing. I'm not very good, but this is also fantastic.
It was.
I need to reread that.
It was good. It wasn't fantastic. It was good.
Fantastic.
So my brother read it,
all of
and
the
then
books in a row that I love that Andrew didn't are right here, by the way.
Oh God.
My brother read Will of the Many, and as soon as he finished, he immediately turned around and started it over again. And like the next day, texted me. He was like, "Okay, I read it again, and it makes way more sense the second time. It's so good." And I'm like, "Man, I missed some stuff then because I thought it was good, but I wasn't crazy about it."
I gave Between Two Fires 3 stars.
I
need to reread it.
3 stars isn't that bad of a rating, though.
Yeah, 3 stars is not a bad rating.
No.
Short Dragon is good.
So
Yeah, so
I just read that.
James Islington is he writes some weird complex stuff, and I read and really liked his trilogy, and so I feel like I was already in the mindset to expect some of the weird stuff that otherwise might feel like it comes out of nowhere, but it's there. But if you're just reading it at face value, you might not like it as much. But I mean, so many people loved that book, and normally when everyone's like everyone loves it, I'm like, it's probably not that good. I read an e-arc because I liked the author, and so I was just excited, and so I was like ahead of the hype train. But
you liked it before it was cool to like it.
Yeah, he's a hipster.
I thought it was cool. But I mean, I liked his. I really liked Lycanius. It's a flawed debut trilogy, but it's very good.
What do you ever give out 1 and 2 stars?
No, I'll DNF before I do that. I think the next one was Poppy War.
Or
Last Argument
DNF.
It might have been Last Argument
have some.
What?
Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, I said it. She heard me correctly.
No, you two were talking at the same time. There probably was a lag for one of you.
I said it was either Poppy War or Last Argument of Kings is the last one I gave 2 stars to.
Go. Okay, Nico, you talk.
Last Argument of Kings was also 2 stars for me.
Same.
Poppy War was 1 though, so.
Okay, whatever. I just gave a book 2 stars yesterday, and I've had a series of frustrating reads, and so when I got to this one, I was like, you know what? Let's just open the floodgates. This book is annoying and it deserves a little bit of a rant, but I'm gonna take out all my anger on it. And so I wrote this really long essay on my Discord, just like tearing into this poor nonfiction book. It's just like, I'm so tired. It wasn't very good, so it deserved it a little bit.
So I have actually a surprising amount of one.
There's a funny story behind that.
Let Nico talk, but then you have to defend yourself.
I just went and looked at my Goodreads, and I do have a decent number of 1 and 2 star reviews on here. Most of the 1 stars are the Belgariad by David Eddings, but there are a lot on there. Also included is Don Quixote, which I hated.
I like Don Quixote.
There's an unpopular opinion.
Don Quixote, yeah, that was a good one. I mean, it was too long, but it was good.
I mean, when you in your book have all your characters sit around a table and read a story out loud, and the story in its entirety is included in your book, you've lost me. You've lost me. And it was just so repetitive.
Did you read the second part, or did you just read book 1?
I started the second part and I'm like, okay, so you're making fun of yourself, but it's not good enough. I'm still mad. He's not making
fun of himself. He's not making. There was 10 years between his first book and second book being published, and it took him so long that someone actually published their own sequel to Don Quixote, and it was a roaring success, and everybody loved it and treated it like canon, and it made the author so angry that he completely changed what book 2 ended up being, and he was basically attacking the fan fiction version that had become canon in people's minds.
Oh, we can do this with the Song of Ice and Fire.
What?
Huh?
Also don't care for.
Yeah.
This is what always happens. People are gonna be really mad at me now in here in the chat for all.
I mean, I'm mad at you.
Yeah, but we expect you to be mad at us. That's
that's true.
That's canon.
You're looking for it. I would also like to point out that Anita is an instigator.
Oh yeah, she's an agent of chaos.
Yes.
The whole thing.
What other fights can I cause?
She's a loyalist for Alan. And so back on when Book Jeopardy was still running, I think he's bringing it back, but I was going on Book Jeopardy, and somebody really loved Last Argument of Kings, and it was a one of his moderators or something like that, and it was for the predictions of who was going to win, and he wouldn't predict me to win because I gave Last Argument of Kings 2 stars, so I bumped it up to 3 stars, and then later bumped it back down to 2.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
I'm apparently getting subscribers from my takes. So.
I apparently on Goodreads, I've only ever given one book 1 star.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's one of the Akatarks. So
you're making me really want to consider doing a patron exclusive Akatar vlog.
Oh, it would be hilarious.
I would love to see that.
That'd be hilarious.
Which book? Oh, my mom just sent me a picture of a dress that she thought I should buy. Thanks, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Okay. Stop checking your phone. Which one did you give 1 star?
The second 1 star, to be honest, but the second one. No, the third one. Sorry, third one.
You're gonna make me go to my book list and see what I've done.
I've given out a lot of 2 stars, but that's the only 1 star apparently.
I feel like my 2 stars would almost get me more in trouble than my 1 stars because there are some bigger names in there.
Yeah.
Like what? Name one that won't make me angry.
That won't make you angry? You probably have not read Peter V. Brett, so The Desert Prince.
You're right. I have zero opinion on that.
Now, the first series, Demon Cycle, very good. The
I've heard of that.
Very bad.
Well, that's a shame. It's always bad when you've read a ton of pages and then you get the stinker.
Well, and the 5-book series, which it's divisive for good reason, and there's a lot of content in it that I'm not a fan of. But the overall story is really, really good. And the ending, I think, really, really good as well. But it's it was the follow up he did years later. I didn't like, so I
I
figured
have
that
a
one
lot
out.
of 2-star reads. Oh no.
When I asked that question, you said no. I just DNF bad books.
Yeah, I forgot. So I gave The Weird and the White Wolf 1 star. That's
I don't
Elric's
know that
saga
one.
book. That's Elric number 1 or number 3. I gave Poppy War 1 star, not 2. I gave Wizard and Glass 2 stars. I gave Cujo 2 stars. I gave Wise Man's Fear 2 stars.
Oh, I did too. 2.5.
Dragon Keeper, Abaddon's Gate, Blood of Dragons, Dragon's Haven, Blue Labyrinth, Crimson Shore, and The Forgetting Moon, and Dark Age 2 stars.
I have a lot of those in common, actually.
All right, we're at the top of the hour. Do you want to do another sprint?
Yeah.
Not to break up this love fest.
Murphy's like, I don't want to talk to these people anymore.
I'm done with you. No, I didn't
Right.
really like the dress.
The betrayal.
All right, reading sprint.
Yeah. This is very
I will never know what Tori said there.
sorry.
It's okay.
Your internet hates you, Tori.
All right. Do you want to do? Yeah, read Frankenstein this time, Nico.
I'm going to. Yeah.
Okay, good. You want to do another 30 or do you want to do 40 this time? 30, go.
Go.
Do we keep reading or do we take over Murphy's channel? Hurry, she's coming back.
I think she's nearby.
Have my channel. How are we planning mutiny when I'm 1 minute late?
I mean, to be
Unacceptable.
fair, we're always at least 10 seconds away from mutiny.
That's super true. All right. What were you reading? How did you like it?
We've got support in the chat.
Why is everyone rooting against me? Okay, it's true that Corey was doing dishes while I was sprinting. I feel like he's just trying to signal to everybody that he's a good husband. I don't think he's doing these chores because he wants to.
Nonsense. I think Corey is an amazing husband.
Oh, well, should I send him your way?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Tori, what were
Ask
you
Corey,
reading? How
I
did you
will
like
take
it?
your husband.
I've been actively defending my husband from Andrew's attention since I met Andrew, basically. So,
Are you a
yes.
husband snatcher, Andrew?
Oh yeah, I've
100%.
Listen, I've been trying to take Nico from his wife since day one. I'm about 90% there.
This is true.
I was reading Golden Sun by Pierce Brown for the fourth time. I don't even remember how many times I've read this book, and I'm about a third of the way through.
It's my kind of
How
man.
is it going?
Good. I love this series. It's like, this is my series. So
If you're gonna say it's just warm and cozy, I mean, those are the wrong words to describe
See-
Golden Sun.
people get weird at me when they ask me what my comfort reads are, because apparently I missed the memo on what that actually is supposed to mean. So when people say, what's your comfort read? And I'm like, Red Rising, Dead House Gates, White Fang, people think
You
I'm
like to
weird.
be sad.
I do. Yeah. I don't like to be
Masters is
alone in
comfort
my
read, so it's all
sadness.
good.
Yeah. Misery
Um,
loves
It's
company.
so good though.
I was uploading
Andrew?
the February 29th video through half of the stream, but I did more Spider Key.
Nice. And how was it?
It was an action-packed chapter in a library, and it was really good. Really, really good. It's like a for some reason, I have a thing for extra dimensional libraries. Like Mage Errant had it, that I loved it. This one has it.
What did you just name that had it?
Mage Errant by John Bierce.
I'm going to text you another book that has it, just in case it would be considered a spoiler, because it doesn't happen till later in the book.
Dude,
Um,
I'm all over it.
Yeah, I'll text you another book that would be good for that. Nico.
Yeah. So Frankenstein, which I'm pretty sure I read when I was like a kid, and I have no memory at all of this. So it's basically like reading the first time, but I got through the letters. I'm interested to see if the book itself is in the same prose style, because wow, I'm really liking this. But like, it's in public domain, so you won't get in trouble for me reading this, Murphy. But
Go for it.
even
Oh,
broken
Evie
in
showed up.
spirit as he is, no one can feel more deeply than he does the beauties of nature. The starry sky, the sea, and every sight afforded by these wonderful regions seems still to have the power of elevating his soul from earth. Such a man has a double existence. He may suffer misery and be overwhelmed by disappointments, yet when he has retired into himself, he will be like a celestial spirit that has a halo around him, within whose circle no grief or folly ventures. Like, who writes like that? It's amazing.
Mary frickin' Shelley does.
Shelley was a
this is-
brilliant writer.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
So you get to keep your friendship with Evie. That's good.
I was gonna say she hates me for a lot of my other takes, so this one's going really well.
I
so
was
far,
gonna say,
Evie,
I feel
so-
like our mutual love of Frankenstein is the only reason Evie and my relationship is still intact.
I mean, hopefully I like it because Evie's already threatened to murder me. So
Oh, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, how are you liking it? Hey!
I almost started this instead because it's really short, but I did Frankenstein for
I read it
Tori,
last year.
so.
Did you like it?
No.
Oh, you gotta say it like that.
Sorry. Well, honest answer. No. I can
Oh my
appreciate
gosh.
why people like it. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Whatever, Tori.
Sorry.
I think I read it when I was a teenager.
Yeah. I'm on page 78 of Into the Sunken City. For anyone who's joined us recently, that's this dandy cover right here. Treasure Island, go into the sunken city. Well, their city is sunken, but go into the depths. She goes into the depths to try to get treasure. She did get a treasure, by the way. She found a nice sword. She lost it. But then she got another anyway. So there's been a lot going on in these pages, and it's I really, really like the concept of this sunken city and how it's affected their ecosystem and their community, the way they do community. Like, there's a lot that I'm really enjoying about it. There still has been some angst, some you didn't tell me you were joining the guard. Yeah, well, you wouldn't have taken it well. And that's proof by this conversation right here. And, there's a lot of good stuff going on as well. Her father was a diver as well. And he got trapped under a building and didn't come out, which is how she and her sister are now the only ones. So yeah, there's a lot of like
way to kill parents. Just trap them in a building.
Underwater
as a diver. Yeah, that's great.
I'll note that for my next book in the trilogy.
Was the treasure the dreamy dude that she kissed? The treasure was the dreamy dude the whole time. No. But it was a sword. Did I not say that it was a sword? It was a sword. Anyway, there's a lot that I'm liking about it. I mean, it's YA, so I knew what I signed up for. And there's a lot of good that it's doing.
Oh, as per our conversation about books that we could wield as weapons that happened in the last husband, bring me my
I'm sorry. When were we talking about books that we could wield as weapons?
For the Hunger Games fantasy match, Murphy,
I don't have a book that big.
Which of us would survive longer? We literally had that conversation like half an hour ago.
I've already forgotten it.
That's okay. But I wanted to show off my dictionary.
But I was just say, thick-wise. Oh boy.
I have a really good edition of Lord of the Rings that would make a good weapon. Yeah, look ashamed. Look ashamed.
This is good.
I
have that copy too, Nico.
I don't have that copy anymore.
Have waited to read it and have a better time with it and like it more than read it too soon and hate it.
It is it's one that you just have to take chapter by chapter, day by day. Just soak it in. Enjoy the setting. Hey, Kyle. Just let it live with you. Do you guys like Peter Pan?
The book? I haven't read it.
Okay.
I also haven't read it.
Okay.
I have. I like Christina Henry's dark retelling of it better.
Whatever. I don't even care. I don't even care.
Yeah, I actually performed a scene from a J.M. Barrie play when I was in college with a friend of mine.
You like walking around us. Yeah, it was surprisingly good, Kyle. It was the first classic I fell in love with.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
I mean, I just read Rebecca and it was really good.
Right. Joanna's been talking to me about that, and I know you read it with her. You enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was really interesting dynamic because you don't get a named protagonist. She remains unnamed throughout the entire book, and I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, and it's one of.
Oh, sorry. It's just to get this story kind of viewed through her angst and her insecurities, and like she's got this super vivid imagination of what she thinks people are perceiving about her, and it like just informs the whole story, and I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, it's such a great, like, do we trust our narrator? Do we trust the things that we're seeing and hearing? It's actually not. I told Joanna that I would actually recommend My Cousin Rachel as the next, because I think that is like, it handles that unreliable narrator, and that each chapter reveals something new that makes you re-examine everything you knew before it. It does it so well. It's not my favorite Du Maurier, but it's probably the best Du Maurier if I were speaking outside of my personal taste. And I loved it.
I was thinking of doing Jane Eyre next, which of course is not. But
Yeah, it's not Du Maurier, but yes, Jane Eyre is also a good
Bronte.
choice.
It's Bronte, right?
No, that was you typing, Tori. I thought that was Nico. I was like, it's
Sorry.
so loud.
Sorry.
Oh no, that wasn't me.
Yeah, it is Bronte.
Same thing.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to.
I did.
I got this gnarly version of it.
Oh wow, that is
Oh.
kind of gnarly.
It's got deckled edge.
That looks like somebody tore
Ew.
the cover off and then just slapped their kids' painting on the cover.
Do you like deckled edges, Andrew?
Sometimes I like deckled edges. Not always, but sometimes.
That's a
You
harsh-
have a look on your face that says that you're judging him for that.
No, that's a mostly acceptable answer because he doesn't like it all the time.
No,
kind of in the
Samelin,
middle.
Jane Eyre is rough. Sorry, go ahead, Nico.
Nico.
Oh, I just said I'm kind of in the middle. So
Oh.
that was all.
In the middle about deckled eggs.
Yeah.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs and deckled edge.
So my brain is done.
This is a deckled edge. Somebody asked in the comments. You can see how it's kind of an uneven cut.
Mhm.
That's a deckled edge.
It's so hard to read.
It's I don't know. Sometimes it goes with like the effect they're going for with the style of the book, and so I think it can work. But yeah.
Why are you so
Okay, but-
diplomatic all the time, Nico?
I don't
Okay.
have strong feelings on this topic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need to develop strong feelings on every topic. Like, Nico, do you like deviled eggs?
No.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
but at least he has an opinion about it.
he had an
I-
opinion. He had a solitary
No, I-
opinion.
You know
Which
what,
is
Nico?
fine.
I will bring you a
There's
tray
something
of
about
deviled
the
eggs.
soft nose that Tori you delivered to me just a minute ago, and that Nico just delivered. Something about those soft nose that somehow are harsher. Andrew, what were you saying?
I said when I come to visit Nico, I'm going to bring a tray of deviled eggs, and when we play hide and seek, every time he loses the game, he has to eat a deviled egg.
Ah, I would play that game. Just don't put Worcestershire sauce in yours, and I'll play that
Ugh.
game.
I always call it wash your sister sauce.
Oh boy. Yeah. If Layla likes deviled eggs, so she'll eat them. But they put no, I'm not either.
Evie,
No,
I can hear
they're
you
not
shouting
good.
that. I can hear
Yeah.
your voice
E-
in my
Evie,
head.
Just remember, Frankenstein's going really good so far. Yeah. Now that's why Evie has a vendetta against me because of not liking the last two subseries of Realm of the Elderlings. So
How dare you?
I know.
I mean, the last
How dare
the
you not
last
like
book
something subjective?
kind of ruined the series for me, and I pretend the last 7 books don't exist. I still have the first 9, and I love those, but I pretend the last 7 don't exist. So
Hobb is a very risky author to have mixed opinions about.
Mhm.
I have a lot of Hobb fans that I've interacted with, and they give me lots of crap about my opinions, but we agree on a lot of other things. So, and I still have a lot of love for that series. It's still one of my favorites. It's just not as high as it used to be after I've actually finished it. So,
I loved the Live Ship Traders trilogy.
I'm reading the first
may
one
be-
this month.
Nice.
It's good.
Let me know how you like it.
Live Ship Traders is the objectively best thing Hobb wrote, I would say. I was about to say in my opinion, but objectively, I think it is the best series. I like the Fitz books more though.
You don't think
Farseer
it was
and
Rain Wild
Tawny Man.
Chronicles?
No, I don't. Tawny Man and Farseer too, but Tawny Man is my favorite. But Live Shift, it's really, really, really well written, and it's very good.
It is really, really well written. I agree. I think Live Ship is probably. So here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. So I don't love Fitz. So I didn't like the first trilogy. I went to Live Ship, and then I DNF'd the second trilogy, and then I was just gonna skip to Rain Wild. And let me tell you, the internet was real not okay with that.
It's you. I mean, you can because honestly, Rain Wild just like undoes and makes a lot of stuff that happened in Tawny Man pointless. And then
Oh,
it's
really?
Just, it's,
Well, then if
yeah,
I skip Tawny Man, who cares?
yeah. See, I mean, it really Tawny Man is the best, but so that's why I'm sad about that. But I mean, you'd be fine. And then the last trilogy is when everything is together, whether it makes sense or not. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. And so that's where that won't make a lot of sense to you but that's also a Fitz trilogy. So if you're not planning on reading those, go for it. Read Rain Wilds.
See, I think I want to read Rain Wild for the wrong reasons, though, because the Rain Wild sections of Live Ship were so interesting to me. Like not the section, but like the Malta's whole thing interacting with the Rain Wilders was fascinating to me, and I wanted more Malta, and I wanted more of the Rain Wilders. And I have been warned that what I'm looking for may not be what I get.
Nope. You won't get a lot of it. So.
Well, I feel irrationally angry when people don't like Fitz. Because I feel like if they don't like Fitz, they won't like me because I identify so I think a lot of Hob fans feel exactly like that. Because anytime I say I don't like Fitz, that's the sentiment that's echoed back to me is if you don't like Fitz, then you wouldn't like me. And I think that's not true because I like you. So I think that that's not true. I think it's just that, I don't like Fitz.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also see that's the thing is a lot of people don't like Wheel of Time, and I love Wheel of Time, and so that's you can tell me all your stuff you don't like about it. It's fine. And there's Jennifer
Wheel
Robin.
of Time bookshelf, so
I do, yeah.
You clearly like it.
Well, it's actually you can see now with the new setup. Here's the side of it. It's too much of a glare, I think. There's chapter icons on the side. I guess you can't see that.
Oh, cool.
You never see that part of it normally, but yeah, no. So it's like I said, I know, and I feel like people are used to hearing me talk about it, but it is what it is.
Someday I'll finish my reread of Wheel of Time.
I still love it. I used to reread Wheel of Time like once a year, and I don't have time for that anymore.
I kind of feel the same about the Red Rising books because I absolutely adore them. And a lot of people are like, how can you like good sci-fi and fantasy and also like Red Rising? And I'm like, you know what? I understand that it's not for everybody and it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't
Do
care.
you think
I
that
love
Red
it.
Rising Do you think that Red Rising is more like popcorn, or do you think that it's like you don't feel that way?
I feel like there's a lot of really deep themes in Red Rising actually that really resonated with me personally, and that's why I love it. Self-sacrifice and loyalty are big ones for me, and that's huge in that original trilogy. So, yeah.
I think devolves into 20 minutes. Really? Well, that's not what we're doing. I think that the what's his name? The guy who wrote The Martian,
Andy Weir.
That one's oftentimes viewed by sci-fi fans as like, how can you like that and like sci-fi?
I liked The Martian. I thought it was a good character book.
It's
that was
a hard
amazing.
sci-fi.
It's an amazing character book.
That yet, but Project Hail Mary was amazing.
I haven't read The Martian, and I liked Project Hail Mary. I didn't like it on the level that all of BookTube did, though.
Did you read it physically or listen to the audiobook?
I listened to the audio.
Oh, really?
Really?
I did. Yeah, I still thought it was good. I think part of my problem is that I have a cold, sick heart, and
do you hate spiders?
Say?
I said, do you hate spiders?
No.
No.
Okay. That was one of those soft no.
No. It was like what are you on about? That's not what we're talking about here.
Wait, so I heard Nico mention Project Hail Mary, and then I think you switched, and I didn't.
No, we're talking about Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, spiders.
Nico?
I mean, not really. I think I know what you're talking about.
You talking about Children of Time?
No.
Okay. It's like not the main portion of the book.
No, but that's usually why people don't like Project Hail Mary.
Oh, I don't dislike it though. I don't dislike it. I liked it. I had a good time with it. It's just that I think that this author writes hopeful sci-fi, and it's just like it's very like everything goes well, everybody's happy, it all works out, and that's not what I look for in my stories.
That's fair.
And sometimes he relies heavily on conveniences to get his happy, and it just doesn't suit me personally as a reader.
I can see that.
But I still enjoyed it. Like I still had a good time.
Yeah, I'm okay with so like somebody mentioned earlier that they were reading The Stars by Destination by Alfred Bester, which if you want not happy sci-fi, that was a trip. of a book. And so like I've read some of that stuff, and I think is really interesting. But yeah, Project Hail Mary, I just like because it was fun. I had a good time with it. And then Ray Porter, he's still one of my favorite narrators because I think he fits that light sci-fi really, really well. He does so well with that, and so I enjoyed that. But yeah, I think you can go different directions with sci-fi. I've not read nearly as much sci-fi as I have fantasy, and so
Same.
it's still something I'm experimenting and finding out more about what I like.
Read this next.
So you've been telling me about that. I don't own that book though, and I'm trying to focus on things I own.
I think I've got a mass market paperback I can unlist on Pango and bring to you.
See, I just finished the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy. First book called The Three Body Problem. So, and I loved it. And so if you've read that, that should give you an idea that hopeful sci-fi is and maybe not my thing.
I have the whole trilogy now, and I hope to get to it this year.
I predict you'll hate it.
Really?
I do. Yes. I
Oh.
hope I'm wrong though. So please do keep me updated.
Interesting. Okay.
This is why
shouting again.
This is why we're friends, Murphy, because I feel like both of us, when people are like, this is when I did my categories for my book awards last year, one of my patrons was like, you should do a most uplifting book. And I sat there and I was like, what did I read this year that was uplifting? Like, what, like I really struggled, and I ended up not putting that in my categories because I was like, I mean, I could probably I have an answer to that, but like, I can't remember if I did or not, but I was like, I had a hard time.
Yeah.
I was just responding. I listened to these books specifically because Ray Porter narrates, and I wanted more after Project Hail Mary. Did the whole series. Really liked them. They were fun.
They're fun.
It's also kind of like light sci-fi as well. But
You got a lot of pop culture stuff. So if you don't know your pop culture, Murphy.
Well, that's where I'm still finding out, but I think I might like harder science fiction a little bit more, because like those and Project Hail Mary were harder sci-fi. A lot of the other stuff that I've read hasn't been, and I've been a lot more mixed on a lot of stuff. So I'm still kind of finding that out for sure, but
yeah. I think, Tori, the hopeful side of things, I was immediately, when you were like, I don't have hopeful, I was like, oh, I do. Stuff like, and every morning the way home gets longer and longer. And then I started listing things off and I was like, wait, that's not hopeful. That's still kind of depressing. Just contemporary.
Right. I mean, there are things I find uplifting about books that I read that are darker that I think a lot of people will be like, I don't know that that's uplifting. Well, that's,
what can be done?
Perspectives. I don't know. I'm a ginger, so that explains a lot of my reasoning. I don't know what excuse you have.
I don't know. I'm generally happy, so I go to dark places in my books.
Fair.
Okay, so hold on. In her pop culture knowledge, thank you. Super Saiyan. Ah, that's right. Heyo. I learned some manga terms. Anyway, I told y'all it would be 2 hours. We've gone 2.5, so we will wrap this up. Check out everybody in the description. Everybody's linked. These are my friends. I talk to them regularly until I ignore them for a long time, and then I get back to talking to them regularly. But we all do that. Except for Andrew. Andrew never leaves. Andrew's just always there.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's funny. You'll ignore me for like a week, and I'm like, she'll listen to this eventually.
I know, you're so gracious. I appreciate it. All of you really are just like, she'll get back to me. Her life's busy at the moment. Anyway, thank you all for joining me for my very first reading sprints. I think it went spectacularly, and everybody had a great time, and no one told me different. All right.
that was fun.
It's amazing.
Oh, great. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.